They say don't put all of your eggs into one basket, and I think this is especially true for networks, cable news networks, in fact. CNN in particular spent a god-awful amount of time talking about Trump, no matter what they were talking about, whether it was puppies or climate or housing markets, no matter what, they always tried to relate it back to Trump in some way, shape, or form, in a negative fashion, too. Now, because Trump is gone, CNN's audience is gone. They've apparently, well, I should say half gone, and which is still really bad enough. Now, apparently, CNN has had a horrible ratings drop ever since Joe Biden got into office. And according to Fox News, it's down about 50% in key measurables. Let's dive into this thing. CNN has been hemorrhaging viewers since former President Trump left office, losing roughly half of its audience in key measurables since January, following a brief post-election day spike. CNN averaged 2.5 million primetime viewers from November 4th, the day following the presidential election, through Inauguration Day on January 20th. But viewers fled the liberal network once President Biden took office, and CNN has averaged only 1.6 million primetime viewers from January 21st through March 15th. That is awful. That is a bad sign. CNN's viewership during the primetime hours of 8 through 11 p.m. Eastern Time dropped 36% since Biden took office, and it spiked following Election Day. CNN's primetime viewership decline was even sharper among the key demographic of adults aged 25 to 54, plummeting 47% during the same period. CNN's viewership also suffered among the total day audience since Trump left office, leaving the liberal network without its bête noire. CNN averaged 1.7 million viewers from November 4th through January 20th, but it dropped 1.1 million since Biden took office, for a 34% fall. During the same period, CNN shed 44% of its total day viewers, among the key demo dropping from an average of 483,000 to only 272,000. Okay, so let's dissect this for a second. Right now, as it stands, CNN is probably one of the worst affected networks, if not one of the worst affected news organizations since Trump's departure from the White House. This signals to me that right now, many people who were watching CNN because of the sensationalism, because it was all anti-Trump, they really sold themselves as this network that was fighting the good fight against a very serious evil. And they were promoting everyone and anyone who would come out against anybody who was for Trump, Trump himself, his family members, whatever it was. Okay? They wanted to promote these people and make every single story revolve around the fight against Trump. Now Trump's gone. So what's left? Nothing. They can try to fill in the blank with as many things as they want to, but really it's not going to have the sensationalism, the dynamism of anti-Trump newscasting. Right now, their viewers are not paying attention. Now, given everybody's numbers are down across the board with few exceptions, okay? Right now, you still have Tucker Carlson doing gangbusters. Tim Pool reports that he still has, a lot more subscribers coming in. You have citizen journalists on the rise, which is a very good thing. But CNN is falling. And I think one of the main reasons that they're falling is the fact that many of their viewers who were in it for the fight, many of the people who were watching because they were really into the sensationalism of CNN, now do not have that sensationalism. They believe that now that Joe Biden's been elected, all the adults are in charge, everything is peaceful. It's like some kind of, end of an epic movie where the big evil has been defeated and now everyone can go home and live in peace. And then really interesting to me is the fact that living in peace means turning off CNN. So everyone has stopped paying attention, really. They've stopped tuning in. CNN pigeonholed themselves into being an anti-Trump network. They put all their eggs into that basket. And because they did that, now that the eggs are all hatched and gone, there's nothing really left to see. Now, they're still going to get some people coming in there and talking about, all the anti-Republican stuff, of course, And there is a slump happening because everyone is definitely exhausted from the election and they want to kind of tune out. But CNN seems to have suffered way more than everybody else. And we know that it's CNN that is the most affected by this just by looking at the breakdown of shows individually. You'll notice that in these primetime cable news weekday change in total audience graph, that it's the CNN properties that are affected the absolute most. We have CNN Tonight with Don Lemon down 32.5%, the most out of anybody. Below him is Anderson Cooper 360, 32.2. Cuomo Primetime, 28.5. All CNN shows, all down big time. You also have MSNBC programs here. All In with Chris Hayes, down 16.7. The Last Word with Lawrence O'Donnell, 17.6. And then Rachel Maddow losing the least out of the leftists with 9.1. Now, Fox News is on here as well. Ingraham Angle, down 9.2. Hannity, down 11.9. Tucker Carlson falling out hardly at all with 4.8. So what does this tell us? CNN is one of the largest purveyors of disaster porn. They are by far one of the worst offenders when it comes to media malpractice. They have been known to straight up lie, and they have proven themselves completely untrustworthy when it comes to reporting on Republicans. They are insanely biased. Now, MSNBC is as well, but MSNBC actually kind of puts themselves forward as a leftist organization. They don't really try to hide it that much. CNN, however, will gladly tell you that they don't have a bias. You know, you have Brian Stelter out there saying that journalists don't have a side. And they absolutely do, and CNN proves it every single day. So not only are they untrustworthy to the vast majority of America, they have made it their business to be an anti-Trump network. But how do you be an anti-Trump network when there's no Trump? Effectively, they've made a non-news item their only means of reporting. So what's the point of watching them anymore? Many of the people who did watch them don't want to watch anymore because Trump's gone and they think that the danger is over. They can all go home and live in peace. The others don't want to watch because they know that CNN is completely untrustworthy. CNN dug itself a hole and it now cannot crawl out of it. So it's going to take a lot of work for them to turn that around. But when you have people like Don Lemon telling America that the worst threat to America is white men who were fans of Donald Trump, you know, you're not going to have a lot of people wanting to tune in. You've just insulted an entire swath of the American people. Cuomo Primetime, no better. Known for being a massive liar. You'll recall back in the day, you know, when the coronavirus first hit, he got it, and he claimed that he was stuck in his basement for a very long time. He judged those who were leaving their homes while they were infected. Of course, then it came out that he had a home in the East Hamptons, and he was going out, he's building one there, and he went out and was visiting his property while he was supposed to be stuck in his basement. And then, after he was caught, he decided to make a big deal out of him leaving his basement for the first time not too long after that. This is a more of a place for leftist actors than it actually is reporting. And I think the people have really caught on to that. So no one really wants to watch CNN anymore. CNN has become more or less an irrelevant network. And if it really wants to turn things around, it's going to have to restructure itself big time. Probably by getting rid of these three people and putting in more of a diversity in terms of ideological thought. Is that ever going to happen? Probably not, at least not for a very long time. CNN is very, very married to its hard left stances, and I do not see it curing itself of that for some time. It's going to have to effectively come under new management first, and who knows, maybe at some point in time that might happen. But it's not going to happen right now. Until then, CNN is going to continue to suffer these huge losses, or at least until they find another big bad that they can all report on. Until that time, CNN is going to be coming in third. The trash network. That's the way it is. I'll see you in the next video.